everybody. We should theoretically be live here. Looks like we are. So, thank you all for joining me on today's stream. Today's stream is going to be a little bit another chill stream, mainly because I wasn't sure what to pull off the shelf, and there's Loki tonight, and that is so very far off level. Slightly better. So today I just decided to pull out a couple of smaller solo games, and probably should introduce myself. I'm Petter, run this channel here in Malts and Meeples. I have my beer ready to go. Maybe. Fantasy Factories again. Final one from the 12-pack. I have to say, it's kind of grown on me as a beer. And I think that's one of the things with beer in general, is that palates change over time, and something that might be a little bit odder right away can become something that you do like. So like the very first beer I had was a Rolling Rock, which is not a great beer. I will say that. It's okay at best. It works well if it's really cold and it's really hot outside. The beer is really cold and it's really hot outside. Not it's really cold and hot, causing some sort of horrible storm outside. And then immediately after that I had a Killian's Irish Red. And I much preferred the Killian's Irish Red, even as a new beer drinker, because it had more flavor, it had more to it. It wasn't just like drinking grain. And I still kind of leaned that way, but it wasn't for a little bit until I really had an IPA. I was like, okay, I like this a lot, and figuring out what types of IPAs I like better, or what different varieties of hops I prefer. So it's one of those things that you can always, it's always worth trying something new, because something that you maybe didn't like originally might be a little bit better now. Or just because something says it's an IPA doesn't mean it tastes like every other IPA. IPAs, as I've talked about before, they can range greatly from like that piney to super citrusy to tropical in flavor, and there might be one of them that you like. Yes, they do have the bitterness normally, and they do have more hoppy flavor, but again, that hoppy flavor runs a real wide kind of range. And this kind of leads into something I've been talking about over on nerdologist.com with changing tastes in board games. Now, what I have here on the table, assuming I had remembered to hook up everything correctly, so let me go do that. What I have on the table are two solo games. And alright, let's hope that we're up and running again. And here we have both Onirim. You're going to be able to see some of the stuff on the table here. And Gentle Rain. Now, Onirim for a long time has been my favorite solo game. I I hope this is fairly well sorted for me here. Perfect, this looks right. Perfect. That'll help me keep it separated while standing up. So Onirim is a fairly simple game. It's about creating runs of different cards with, well, a lot of shuffling in between. I have one expansion mixed in here, and you're trying to get 3 cards to go in a row of the various colors. That one can't be in there. I'm not going to shuffle right now because I will be a lot. So I play down a card and then draw a card. Cool. Now I have to play a different symbol. I can't play either of these 2 cards. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh crap. As the battery is about to die on here. This is... I was fairly confident that it was charging. Charging? No. I apologize for this. Still not charging. Alright, I'm gonna have to go around to the other side so I can see what I am doing here. I'm about done with this camera. There we go. Now it's charging. Of course, now my focus was just terrible there. And still kind of is. But, so I can't play either of these 2. These 2 have more powerful abilities, the ones with the keys on them. So I'm just going to play down another one. Like I said, I'm trying to get 3 of a color in a row, which I will now. And that means I go digging through here. Looking for a green door. There are 3 green doors in the setup I have. Slide this here so we can pull down our green door. And these cards still stay in line. So I'm still working off the same setup as last time. Draw my card. Have a few things here that are worth noting. So I'm going to discard this key. Discarding the key allows me to look at the top 3. I must get rid of one of them. And then, like normal, I draw. This one here, when I discard it, I look at the top 3. I can put a door into play and the rest on the bottom of the deck in whatever order I want. And then I draw. So I got a nightmare. I believe there are 8 nightmares. So I can discard that, or that gets discarded, and I have a few different options. I could discard my whole hand. I could get rid of 3 cards off the top of the deck, or I could get rid of a door, or the final option is I can discard a key, basically to counter that, and then I draw back up. I'm going to use that to look at the top 3 again. Of course, I'm going to choose to discard the nightmare, and I get a draw. Now, I don't have a good set of 3 different colors here, so I'm going to discard, or I'm going to play that one, draw. I'll discard a green and draw again. Basically, I'm trying to set up so that ideally I can find another red, but I'll look at the top 3 in hopes there's a door. There was. So now I've gotten 3 out of the 12 doors that I need to. I'm going to put down that blue in hopes of drawing another blue. I didn't. I'll discard a green since I can't actually play any of these. These all match symbol-wise. And I have a key, so I'm going to look at the top 3. Discard that. Go that order. Draw that. We'll play that down. Draw this. Play that down. And then I'm going to look at the top 3, looking for a door. No door. I'll put the nightmare on the bottom. Discard that. Look at the top 3. Have to discard one of these cards. I guess we're discarding that one. I draw a red key. I can put that down, and now I look for a red door. Of course, since I've done that now, I shuffle. That's one of the big things with this game, is there's a lot of shuffling. I don't mind it too much. It can be a fairly big deck, but nightmare. So I have 4 cards in my hand. I'm just going to discard them all. I draw back up to 5. 2, 3. Door doesn't count. Door doesn't count. 3, 4, 5. So those doors get dropped back in, and I'll be able to shuffle. One more. And now I get to start making choices again. I don't have any whites out, so white doors out, so I'm going to go. Perfect. Draw that. Nice. So I'm going to draw that, and I search my deck for one of the white colored doors. But as you can see, I'm getting down in this deck. This is my discard. That's my deck. And I only have 6 of the 12 doors, so I'm only halfway there at this point. I'll risk it. Look at the top 3. Bottom of the deck. Even though I didn't get a door out of that, that's kind of worth it to do that, just because it allowed me to kind of look and figure out what I had up here. So I'm actually going to keep that in order for an odd reason. I draw that, play it down, draw that one. I now have protection against nightmares with that key. And I'm going to set all of these up so I'm not working off the edge anymore. I have 3 reds in a row. I gotta look for a door. Draw one. Let's look at the top 3. Blue, blue, blue. Discard one. Play that down. 2 in the row. There's a blue door. Can't use it. So I draw that. Play that one down. Not that one. Matching symbols. That one down. I'm just going to take the blue door I had found. And I have a nightmare. Again, 4 sun cards. So it's more worth it for me to discard that hand and draw back up to 5. Of course, I have a nightmare and a door in here. So I draw. And now I am set. Get those 2 back in. We're getting closer. We're at 7 out of the 12 doors. Only 5 more to go. And probably a quarter of the deck left. So I'm going to start searching a little bit more. Looking for doors. Boom. There we go. Got our last red one. Put these 2 on the bottom. Draw a card. Search again. 1, 2, 3. No doors. To the bottom we go. Nightmare. I have a red key, so I can cancel it. Of course, I draw into another nightmare, so I just discard my hand. Yeesh. 2 nightmares there. Door. Key. We're getting down here to the end with still 4 doors left to find. And I don't know how many nightmares left. Well, there's a nightmare. Cancel it with the key. There's a door. Alright. Getting so very close to the end here. Now, like I was saying, I don't have an issue shuffling the giant deck, but that small one is a bit trickier. We're getting so close to the end, I'm going to start doing a whole lot more fishing. Nothing. Draw one. Fish. Alright, got my last blue door out. There's a white door. There's a nightmare. I'm going to discard my whole hand. Nightmare. Don't shuffle that back in. That'd be a bad deal for me. So we're only 3 short, but we're down, way down on cards here. So I have specific colors I need to go for. So I'm going to start building out towards green. We'll see if I have enough to make this work. So I'll play that down. Oosh, nightmare. I do have a green key in my hand. Alright, so I'm at I don't know that I'll be able to pull this off. I'm at 5 cards left in there. Plus 5 here, but I don't draw yet. So I'm going to discard a blue and draw. I'm going to discard a blue. and draw. Of course, I get a green door. Now I got a white door, so I can discard the white key to put the white door into play. And I think this will be it because I have 3 cards in my hand, 5 cards here, but I apparently am missing a white door. Did I stick it into my discard pile at some point in time? Yep, I did. So I still wouldn't have been able to win anyways. I didn't have a way to actually get that green door and the white door played out. But that's generally how Onirim goes. It gives you a lot of fun, tough decisions that you can try and tackle. However, I will say, as I box this back up, the next one we're moving on to is A Gentle Rain. And for me, currently, I think I'm at the point where I prefer to play A Gentle Rain. Now, some of that is, it's a newer one for me, so I've played Onirim more, and I've played it a bunch in app form. App form's a lot of fun as well, especially because that takes care of all the shuffling for you when you have to shuffle. But let me zoom out a touch. That's in a touch. A Gentle Rain it's like I was talking last time, it says it's a relaxing game, and it's not a lie. Like, A Gentle Rain is a very relaxing game for me to play. So, like today, I had a long day of meetings. Shuffling this all together here. This game is going to, like, Onirim's considerably less relaxing to play because with the nightmares being this negative thing, it feels like there's so much more stress to the game. On the flip side, when we come here to A Gentle Rain, like, there's nothing negative that happens in A Gentle Rain. I'm just flipping tiles. Wow. Can't place that one. Like, that's the most negative thing that can happen in the game, is that I can't place something. Otherwise, I'm still just always flipping tiles, seeing what I can come across. Nothing to complete yet. Slide this whole thing down slightly. Green, blue, nope. Nope. Stick that one there. Now black and orange. Doesn't quite line up there. This is just, like, I know I talked about it a lot last time, but this is, it really is truly a relaxing game to play. Like, even though it's not going super well for me at this point, I haven't completed any squares yet, it's still, say that, I immediately do, it's still just a nice one to sit down and play and enjoy. I don't feel like, oh, if I don't win at this game, that I'm doing anything particularly wrong about it or about how I'm playing it. It's more just that it's nice and chill. Like, you can see I was leaning on my hand there, not really intentionally. But that's the sort of game that I really feel like this is. It's one I can just kind of play very casually, and it works well. So, like, when I want something a little bit more rigorous, I'll probably reach for something like Onirim. That game does just have a little bit more going on. It's still very small, very portable, but, and actually it takes up way less space than this game does, even though A Gentle Rain is a much smaller box. Let's see. No spot to connect it, so let's stick it there. Even though this is a smaller box, like I was saying, it definitely eats up more space on the table. But sometimes that's kind of what you want. Like, this is a very simple puzzle, not really even a puzzle, just a matching game. So if I can get this one, I'll be real impressed. Green, purple, yellow, black. I was going to put that here, but that actually doesn't help me much. I still might. Because I don't have a better spot for it. Getting down on these tokens now, or tiles to draw. And so, I mean, odds are I'm not going to win this game. But that doesn't detract kind of from the relaxed time playing the game. Like, yeah, you want to do well, but you're not pressing nearly as much, or doesn't feel like as much that you're pushing for as you do in Onirim. Like, I'm just playing this game, slowly rotating pieces. Of course, I can't actually fill that spot in, so I finish with 3 of these guys left. But that's really the fun of this game, though, is that I'm not rushing to think of anything. I'm not feeling the pressure. Like Onirim, I feel like gives me a pressure even if it doesn't necessarily exist to do really well at the game. Like it's pushing me to do better. On the flip side, A Gentle Rain is telling me, play it, see what happens, and enjoy. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. And that's a lot of fun for a game. Like I was saying, I had meetings all morning at work. That's not that fun. Can be stressful. And then in the end, I think A Gentle Rain is going to be better for a day like that. I think it helps you relax more as you play it. Whereas Onirim I feel like is a game that I use to keep my focus a little bit more honed when I'm maybe in a situation where I'm not fully focused on what's going on. Like there was a day watched a ton of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I mean I think it was like 6 hours worth with some friends, and we just I just brought Onirim with me because instead of pulling out my phone and looking at my phone or looking at or getting distracted, getting up and moving around, that gave me something to do with my hands. I used that to be less rushed playing it that way, but also I took the time to be like, all right, I still have to think and focus in. So like if I feel myself losing focus on the anime, I can play a round of Onirim and focus back in. And it only takes, not that many minutes. I talked for a chunk at the beginning and kind of explained how Onirim plays, and that was still 15 minutes or so. A Gentle Rain is even faster than that, but both of them just really work and are a lot of fun for me. I do think I prefer A Gentle Rain at this point in time, but yeah, if you're looking for good small solo games, these are two that I highly recommend, and I think even A Gentle Rain is going to be one that non-gamers or people who like to play board games but maybe aren't as excited about playing solo, they're going to be interested in trying out something like A Gentle Rain, or it's going to be more appealing to them than, say, learning something like Onirim, which has a bigger rule set that you have to know. A Gentle Rain barely has any rules. So, if you're looking for a stocking stuffer for someone this year, I know we're not even halfway to Christmas, but this is going to be a good one. But with that, bottoms up.